While we often focus on Joseph or Judah, Dan offers us a unique perspective on identity, legacy, and God's redemptive plan. His story serves as a reminder that every individual has a role in God's tapestry, regardless of how they may be perceived. Dan was the fifth son of Jacob and the firstborn to Bilhah, Rachel's maid. Rachel, grappling with her inability to bear children, offered Bilhah to Jacob to conceive on her behalf. In Genesis chapter 30 verse 1-6, we see a deep longing for recognition, love, and belonging displayed through Rachel's actions. The name, Dan, means, "he has judged," expressing Rachel's belief that God had vindicated her. Many of us, like Rachel, find ourselves in seasons of desperation and longing. We may strive to achieve our worth through accomplishments, relationships, or external validation. However, it is essential to recognize that our identity is shaped by God alone. We are not defined by our struggles but by how God sees us and works through us. In the blessing given by Jacob in Genesis chapter 49 verse 17, Dan is described as a serpent by the road. Dan shall be a serpent in the way, horned in the path that bites the horse's heels, so that his rider falls backward. Biting the horse's heels symbolizes a disruptive force, indicating that Dan would confront powerful adversaries or situations, potentially leading to their downfall. It suggests a position of strength in overcoming obstacles. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes of Israel. The reference to Dan judging his people suggests that the tribe of Dan would play a significant role in leadership and justice among the Israelites. This could imply a future of authority and responsibility. Dan as a serpent indicates cunning and a certain stealthiness. This could be interpreted as the tribe being strategic in their dealings, possibly suggesting that they may face challenges but can navigate them effectively. As mentioned in the blessing by Moses in Deuteronomy chapter 33 verse 22, Dan is compared to a lion's whelp, indicating their fierce nature and warrior spirit. Dan is a lion's whelp. He shall leap from Bashan. Likening him to a young lion symbolizes strength, bravery, and the warrior spirit, which are qualities associated with the tribe. The mention of Bashan, a region known for its fertile land and strong oak, indicates a place of might and abundance, further emphasizing Dan's warrior-like traits. The tribe of Dan was originally located in the western part of the land of Canaan, near the Mediterranean Sea. It initially struggled to fully conquer its designated land due to the strength of the Canaanite inhabitants, particularly in the coastal areas. They fought against the Amorites, who occupied parts of their territory. The Danites sought to expand their territory because they could not fully conquer their allotted land. They sent a group of 5 spies to explore the northern region. Eventually, they migrated northward, establishing a new territory around the city of Laish, which they renamed Dan. This was a significant military action as it allowed them to settle in a more favorable location. The tribe of Dan is mentioned in a supportive role in various battles fought by other tribes. In the time of King David, the tribe of Dan was included in the military structure of Israel. The tribe was known for its strength and distinctive characteristics. Yet, Dan's legacy is mixed. He was often associated with idolatry, particularly in the time of the Judges, when the tribe's entitlement led them to establish their own idol at Dan. Judges chapter 18 verse 30-31. We must recognize that our legacy is not merely a product of our beginnings but also of our choices. The actions of the tribe of Dan serve as a cautionary tale about drifting from God's path. Like the tribe, we can sometimes be tempted to choose convenience over conviction, leading us away from our true purpose. We must continually evaluate our lives and ensure we are following God's leading rather than succumbing to the allure of this world. Despite the tribe's failings, we see God's unwavering love and the possibility of redemption. In Ezekiel's prophecy of the restoration of Israel, Dan is included in the list of tribes, indicating that God still has plans for each of them. Ezekiel chapter 48 verse 1. This inclusion reminds us that no one is beyond the reach of God's grace. God can restore what has been broken. Our past failures do not define us. Rather, they can become platforms for His grace to shine. Just as the tribe of Dan was granted a place in the hope of restoration, we too can find hope in our imperfections and the promises of God. Each one of us can be a vessel of His purpose, regardless of our past missteps. As we reflect on Dan, let us remember that every person has a unique story in the grand narrative of God's redemptive work. We are all called to step into our identities as beloved children of God. Let us strive to live lives of faithfulness, embracing our unique gifts and calling while always seeking God's guidance. Let us pray that we may find our purpose in Him and seek to honor our legacy, both for ourselves and the generations that come after us. Thanks for passing by. Please click the like and subscribe buttons as a way of showing appreciation for me as a content creator.